Um, Hi, hello, this is Dasha, and this is How Smart Podcast, a podcast where we talk about creative leadership and all things related. And today we're talking about levels up and changes, and your new version and your old version. So let me start from this point. All of us want to be the new, better version of ourselves because we don't like the old version of ourselves, mostly because it's not even our version. Let me describe this thesis. So, when you grow up, your parents and society, they say things about you that you don't even like. But you don't know who you are and you don't know like what you can be. So, you start believing in those things. So basically, you become the version of yourself that is made by your parents' vision of you. You're just like you're their dream, basically, and society vision of yourself. And that's why so many people dislike who they are because they are like built with sayings, with phrases, with understandings, with everything that people around them, including their family, were telling them. For example, if your family members were telling you that you are terrible at, I don't know, something, you might be not believing in it consciously, but subconsciously you will always consider that fact. And if someone like from like different environment will say the same thing about you, you will start believing that because that will be to you a fact because two different people told you that, and like we as a human beings we start to believe in those facts. So basically when you grow up, you are the like your self concept is a surrogate of your environment. And if you're lucky enough, you have like a pretty neutral sayings about you. And you, if you traveled enough, if you've been to like different places and talked to different kind of like people, you will see like that there are options and that you can be like any who you want to be. And like sometimes things are not in that case, but we are creatives here. So I believe that you had like quite a choice in terms of choosing who you want to be, right? So, for example, you have your old version, and your old version is something that you are not like 100% satisfied. This is not whom you want to be because, well, this person has like not like the best reactions to the world. This is not the version, like, you don't feel that this is like your version, right? So, you feel that this is like some like I don't know like outdated version, like not the best version. So it just like it feels like a second-hand version of yourself, and you just like you don't feel that this is like your like maximum, right? So this is not your like best or high potential. And so you start to embrace who you are and try to dig in inside of you, trying to figure out who you are, what you want, and you start communicating with people. And like starting to see yourself from different points of view until things start to change, right? Because you start to understand that, damn, this is like the point A and the point B are like so distant that you have to work yourself like work your ass off in order to like go through this path. So the first step is to understand that you are the surrogate of your environment. And if you're not digging into yourself and trying to understand who you really are, then you're going to like basically be a second-hand version of you. I'm very sorry to say that. And the second step is to figure out who you want to be, right? So this is like the like step two. And like you can do that by communicating with other people, seeing other visions, like basically doing the research. And it requires a lot of like communication actually. It's not even about like traveling. It's just like you have to communicate a lot and just like understand like I like this, I don't like that, this is me, this is not me. And just like basically it's like a kind of research, I'd say. And then the third step is basically to put it in action and start just like step by step, choosing the new version of you over your old version. And this is like requires a lot of, it's not about even hard work, it's about dedication mostly. For example, for a very long period of time, I was told that I am a person who is very how to say that, that I am very messy, that I'm a very messy person, and that this is some kind of a very negative trait. And for a very long period of time, I was stopping myself in terms of doing like lots of things because I thought that I'm a messy person, and why even bother? I would not do things because I'm a messy person, because that's what people told me, told around me were telling about me. But then I was like, like I don't give a shit about that I'm messy because I want to do this thing. And I started to do this thing, and somehow I figure out that I never was a messy person, but sometimes when I start doing things or when I don't have a proper education on how to do things, I definitely am making mistakes. But if there's someone who explains me how to make it not messy, or I just like see the mess and I don't like it, I don't like to messy things, it's not my nature, um, then I will go like and like basically fix it. And also, I figure out that, like, but I like to be really chilled and relaxed. And to me, this is extremely important to have some kind of, I don't know, like how to call that, but I call this a messy day off. And I really, I feel like, I don't know, I feel amazing when I wear like an ugly hairstyle, when I just like, I look like shit, and I basically throw away all the things and I eat like nachos. And like, I feel like very messy person, the person that like a shitty person. I don't know, like, like they show that image of an American people who live like that, who just like basically have their life is a shit. And when I have like around 2 or 3 hours of this lifestyle, I feel so free. I feel so, I don't know, I feel so well. And after that, I just like, I don't need no messiness. But to me, this was like kind of like experience to figure out that I need that. Anyway, so right now, I don't perceive myself as a messy person. And as a result, you know what? I don't make any kind of mess. And this is like why? Because I'm not a messy person. So this it's called self-concept. And probably you heard about it, but what I wanted to tell, it's not about the self-concept, rather than like when your old version and your new version of reality or yourself, which is basically the same thing, but they conflict. And recently I have a lot of this thing. Like I even like I don't know how to deal with it anymore. Well, I know how to deal with it anymore, but I want to whine. So this happens a lot. For example, I react like with the new with the new thoughts, with the new feelings on some kind of topics, but then suddenly some kind of like major situation happens, and I have no resources to react on that properly, like in a new way, and I start to overreact, and like suddenly it's not even about like this particular situation that happened. I start to overeat. I start to like I stop doing like new habits. I start to consider like going backwards, etc. And to me, this is like, I ask myself, like, why are you doing that? Like, it feels like we were so close to like basically moving forward. Like why your like old version is right now here? Like, why are you doing that to yourself? We progressed so hard. Like, why are you going back? And here, like, what's the main idea of this podcast is, when I like thought that progress is linear, like when you have this like step by step process, for example, like you have a ladder or you have a levels. Like you are at the elementary level, and then you like upgrade yourself and you're on like, I don't know, like intermediate level. Let's say it that way. And I always perceived that leveling up or moving forward in life is about levels up, right? So you are at the like intermediate level, and then you just like you go to the senior levels. The same like things applies in terms of like careers. And as we all know, like mostly all like career advancement researches and scientific base is financed by top management like of all these like huge companies. So of course in that case, in terms of careers, we definitely have this level up thing. When you have like an intermediate level, then you like go to like middle, and then you go to the senior level, and then you go to the top level. And this mindset is what we carry with our life. We see that we need to just like somehow like upgrade to a new level, but that's life. That's not career. And things don't work that way here because guess what? This is pretty normal to like react the same way even though you changed, because that's the part of the process. So I stopped seeing the upgrades of your like system or like your levels up as basically levels up. And I started to see like all of these things related to progress as a fluid movement. So it's not about that my progress is something that is very hard and heavy that you have to move forward. Rather, my progress is more like water or like mercury. I even more like this metaphor with mercury. So it basically means that I am like, for example, water, right? So when it moves forward, when it has its speeds, not all water might be like in one place, right? So some drops just like might be behind, but like if you want to, you can move them too. And the same goes with Mercury. Like when the Mercury is moving forward or just moving somewhere, sometimes like these tiny drops are left behind. And I see that like the same thing goes with energy. It's pretty normal. What you have to do is you have to go back and like basically like move these drops forward too, and not stick there, like not be attached to your past version. It's okay. It's totally okay that you have like past situations that like pop up in your life even though you changed. It's okay that you have your like old behaviors. It's okay that you have like old reality, old problems. Like all this is going to pop up as long as you are moving forward. And that is totally okay. So like to me this metaphor of moving like Mercury is so important these days, because I understand that some parts of me are like I left them I left them, yeah. So I have to go back, and sometimes it's not only me going back. And how I go back, I go with using like therapy tools. But sometimes rather than those energy things, they pop up in my reality right now, and I just like I have to deal with them using my new reactions, using my new state, and using my new self concept. So to circle that thing, what I want to say is that so you are the surrogate program yeah, not somehow yeah, you are the surrogate of what people were telling about you when you were a kid, a teen. And if you're lucky enough, then you started to think that maybe this is a bullshit, that maybe you're just like you're a different kind of person. And when you change, when you start to change, and start to like see that you're different, right? So you're not the person that people were telling you are, and you can choose whoever you want to be. So when you go through this process of changing, sometimes this like the new old version of you will pop up, and you will react the way that you reacted, doing the things that people told you, or maybe you had a bad habits, or maybe you were just like addicted to something, and things will definitely like you will relieve them, and that is totally normal. But this goes with spiral, and like this evolution is happening. That's why it's called progress. And the goal here is to stick to the place that you are going to and never ever look back. That's why I want to end it with my mantra. Actually, I think that I created it, but probably there's nothing that I create, right? We all replicating things that people before us did. So it sounds like this, like my past version of me does not define me. I am only defined by my emotions, actions, and thoughts that I choose right now. So the idea behind it is this, that it doesn't matter who you were yesterday. And actually, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you are today. All that matters is that what you choose at this moment. And if you choose to be like, I don't know, a billionaire, that's your choice. And you will go that path and you know what is required to be a billionaire. So you have to be a billionaire. And this is your choice. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be sad. These all are choices. And most of our life we spend it reliving the past. And sometimes it is necessary to relive the past because here is our energy, right? In the past, a lot of our energy. And it is very useful to relive these events. But in most cases, we define ourselves with our past versions. But it doesn't matter who you were yesterday. People around you will say that you were this, you were that, you were blah, blah, blah. But you can change your environment. And basically, people around you will tell you that you are just like way different. Because for them, you're going to be way like you're going to be like so fast. People around you were telling you you're so slow that you're just like so messy. And then you move to other country and people start to say, you know, like you're so fast, like slow down. And girl, like, why are you doing that? Because our perception of ourselves is the only thing that matters. So when you level up, consider that it's not about the version that you become and rather than whom you choose to be. And that totally it's totally okay if you sometimes have like this like glitches from like past reality. So yeah, that was kind of messy, I guess. But you know, like the topic isn't easy, and the more I talk about it, I think that the more I make it clear because this is not an easy thing to describe, but I definitely see that very clearly and feel that on energetic level too. So if you have any questions, please drop a comment and please push a like button because this helps me to understand that I'm moving forward too. So that was like kind of mysterious podcast today. I liked it. Hope you liked it too. Bye.